Good morning, everyone, distinguished guests, speakers, and panelists. I'm delighted to be here. This is my first time speaking at the Hong Kong Economic Summit. And I know that HKEX has been a strong supporter of the summit since it began in 2003, and I really look forward to continuing to collaborate in the future as we continue to build Hong Kong's attractiveness as a global financial center. I joined HKEX 6 months ago and was attracted by the immense opportunities I could see on the horizon. As CEO of one of the world's most important exchange groups, with perhaps the single most important opportunity in financial markets in our doorsteps, this is a role I could not decline. Today, I'm very excited by the opportunity as much as I was when I was first approached about the role. Over the past few months, I have met with many of our customers, with partners, stakeholders across the markets in Hong Kong, in mainland, and also internationally. And I have been particularly struck by the passion and enthusiasm for building Hong Kong's strength and relevance as a global financial market leader. Hong Kong is already a world-leading capital raising center, consistently ranking amongst the top 5 global IPO markets around the world. It is also home to the largest structured products market in the world, and with $4.5 trillion assets under management, it is also the largest asset and wealth management hub in all of Asia Pacific. As a unique and vital super connector between East and West, Hong Kong facilitates the two-way flow of capital that connects China with the rest of the world and the rest of the world with China. And alongside this key strength as a capital market, it is also a city that champions innovation, ideas, entrepreneurship, and new thinking. There is no more keenly reflected than in the field of sustainability and ESG. While I have been impressed with the increasing awareness and the early progress made in the areas of green finance and broader sustainability in Hong Kong, I feel we're just started on our collective ESG and green journey. And this is an important conversation that needs to stay at the forefront of all discussions regarding market development. At HKEX, we're committed to building Hong Kong's reputation as Asia's green and sustainable financial center by helping investors and issuers transition to environmentally responsible and low-carbon practices. The business case for solid ESG strategies and planning at the corporate level is becoming very strong. It is no longer a nice to do. It has become business critical. As the world looks to emerge from the pandemic and seeks to make good on its commitment of COP26, it is now a perfect time to examine the role that capital markets play in ensuring the smooth transition to a low-carbon, climate-resilient economy. Such a transition will require huge investments, estimated at $90 trillion in climate-resilient infrastructure by 2030, according to the United Nations. It also requires a financial system that is able to adapt and innovate, a robust ecosystem, and sustainable and green finance products and services, and a very supportive regulatory environment. The United Nations has noted that mobilizing finance is a prerequisite to secure the COP26 goals of global net zero, adding that international financial institutions must play their part to unleash the trillions of dollars in private and public sector finance required to create a sustainable, future for all the generations to come. Hong Kong has stood at the forefront of capital markets innovations for many years, pioneering groundbreaking infrastructure, such as the very highly successful Connect programs, as well as booming new economy listings and an ecosystem that were game changers. As one of the world's leading international financial centers, Hong Kong is now strongly positioned to lead Asia's sustainable finance transition. With its world-class business infrastructure, sound regulatory environment, diversified pools of capital, investors, financial products, and professional expertise, Hong Kong's role as a super connector between China and the rest of the world will allow it to play a leading role in Asia's and the globe's green finance transition. As critical market infrastructure, HKEX has a key role in driving this low-carbon economy and its transition journey. Our goal is to ensure our sustainability strategy is seamlessly embedded and implemented across our businesses, functions, operations on all of our markets, translating climate and risks into opportunities. We see ourselves as a change agent and look to set an example and engage with all of our stakeholders in a role as regulator, as a market operator, and as a listed company. As a regulator, today we support over 2,500 listed companies with a framework and guidance for ESG disclosure, application, and implementation through our listing rules and through education. Some of these include the introduction of ESG reporting requirements in our listing rules, including carbon-related disclosures that started in 2013. Last year, we made mandatory disclosure requirements on boards' roles and responsibilities on ESG. HKEX was one of the first exchanges in the world to require this. We also upgraded our requirements on disclosure of significant climate-related issues and greenhouse gas reductions targets by all listed issuers. In May this year, we launched the HKEX ESG Academy webinar series to inform on the latest trends and share best practices on various ESG matters, including climate-related topics. We are also a founding member of Hong Kong's Green and Sustainable Finance Cross-Agency Steering Group, which coordinates many of the efforts within the financial sector. As a market operator, we're also helping to create an ecosystem of sustainable and green investment products, supporting companies on their transition to a low-carbon economy and a more sustainable business model. As a world-leading capital-raising platform, HKEX supports the development of green and renewable companies by providing the market infrastructure to help their growth and research and development needs. We support a range of sustainable financial products to enable businesses to accelerate their sustainability journey and investors to diversify their portfolios. And the pie is growing. So far this year, we've seen 90 green and ESG-related bond listings at HKEX, and that raised over $270 billion Hong Kong dollars. That compares with only 18 listings last year that raised 67 billion Hong Kong dollars. We also provide transparency, access to resources, and growth opportunities for issuers and investors. In 2020, we launched Stage, the Sustainable and Green Exchange. That's Asia's first multi-asset sustainable investment product platform. At the heart of Stage is an online product repository which currently contains over 80 green, social, and sustainability-related investment products. In addition to that, we publish the practical Net Zero Guide for Businesses to help companies to understand their greenhouse gas emissions in terms of where they are now, where they want to get, and how they can get there. As a listed company, we are committed to leading by example as a corporate champion in sustainability. We recently joined the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero and the Net Zero Financial Services Providers Alliance as part of our commitment to the long-term sustainable development of global financial markets. We expect to achieve our net zero target much sooner than 2050. And we're preparing a detailed action plan as we speak. I hope to provide an update very soon. Through our charity arm, HKEX Foundation, we channel resources and support to community programs that address environmental education and environmental sustainability, covering all climate-related focus. In the 18 months since HKEX Foundation was established, I am pleased to tell you that we have made grants totaling over 200 million Hong Kong dollars. We are committed to helping investors and issuers embark on their low-carbon transition journey, building a sustainable financial ecosystem. Looking more broadly, sustainable finance is a key strategic priority in the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area, with Hong Kong functioning as its international green finance hub. With a population of 86 million, the GBA region represents a new economic powerhouse with a key role to play in the ESG, green finance, and the low-carbon transition. In this region alone, the green business potential is expected to jump 5 times, from $90 billion in 2018 to over $450 billion by 2030. In September 2020, the Hong Kong government joined forces with the other GBA governments to form the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area Green Finance Alliance, with the aim to promote, research, and incubate green investments that will benefit the whole region. And as part of the Green and Sustainable Finance Cross-Agency Steering Group, HKEX works closely with the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region and its financial regulators to accelerate the growth of sustainable finance in Hong Kong and in all of the GBA. An example of this is HKEX's investment in a minority stake in the newly established Guangzhou Futures Exchange earlier this year, which signifies our commitment to supporting the development of China's derivatives and green finance and low-carbon markets. Recently, in August, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the Guangzhou Futures Exchange to further promote sustainability and green development initiatives. Finally, HKEX and the Securities and Futures Commission are leading a feasibility study on developing Hong Kong as a regional carbon trading center to strengthen collaboration in the GBA, including exploring opportunities presented by both compliance carbon markets and the voluntary carbon market, both in China and overseas. We look forward to closer coordination between our partners across the Greater Bay Area, including Macau, Shenzhen, Guangdong Province, to capture and nurture these attractive opportunities for our collective prosperity. The business case for sustainability is becoming stronger every day. As Asia's global marketplace, we understand that Hong Kong is key in building the path ahead. We have a crucial role to play in financing the transition to a low-carbon and sustainable economy, and to supporting achieving net zero in Hong Kong, in China, and Asia. From launching our sustainable and green exchange stage, Asia's first multi-asset sustainable investment product platform, to working with stakeholders to expand our sustainable finance ecosystem, we're driving the regional transition. Capital markets have an important role to play in supporting the transition to a low-carbon and sustainable economy, but we know that collaboration and partnership are key in delivering these collective climate ambitions. The ESG, green finance, and low-carbon growth story will unlock unprecedented opportunities and deliver a strong, sustainable, and inclusive global economy. So in closing, I would like to invite all of our partners, market participants, stakeholders, and everyone else to help build Hong Kong's reputation as Asia's green and sustainable financial center. Sustainable finance is about much more than financing solutions. It is about protecting our planet for the next generation and beyond. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you very much.